the manufactured house with the Manufactured Housing Association folks, and we're trying to work on a deal to fix this problem. Earlier this week, we got a letter from Mr. Mike's attorney. We knew that he had hired somebody in Panama City, but the letter I think you've all seen now. He has demanded $143,000. There's some overlap between his numbers and the numbers we've been talking about with the other folks, but not a whole lot. And so we're here to see what happens next.
Okay, and I understood that in our previous meetings, all we did was give Pat Floyd give us a second opinion for a certain amount of money, but now Mr. Floyd, I understand his second opinion will be that he files some suits. Is that right?
Well, yeah, I didn't really give him the second opinion before that, there's an opportunity, there are some bases for challenging, and, those are ones that actually is determined by the court, but what the second opinion was to look and see if there is there anything on the, I won't go over the whole thing, but is there anything in the modular home manufactured housing that gives us a basis, and then to look and see if there are any other circumstances. And I think there, from Greer, we've identified that there are some matters dealing with the application that can be addressed.
Right.
So that's the area. So I guess the first thing is Tom Gibson has advised me, as he just referenced, that there is no resolution of the claim in spite of his diligent efforts to try to bring this to a close. And so the next step is to, and I've already kind of given what I had on the second opinion, and just say, look, you're in the next stage of either you pay the money, or you go ahead and take a look, or you go ahead and pursue other routes in this the area that I'm involved in.
Okay. All right.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to look into one of those other routes, and I just think we've been tabling the discussion or having no further information for quite some time. So just to kind of refresh everyone in the public, the three of you here and everyone out there in TV land. Initially, when we got this request to do a stop work order, and we voted to do so, I was under the impression it was to determine whether or not we were dealing with a modular home or a mobile home. Later determined that because of the sticker the state put on their electrical box, that it was in fact a modular and is under protection from the state, and it must be treated like a stick-built home. When we did determine that was the case, we also discovered that there were problems with the foundation, which had already been approved by our city, by our building department. So the stop work order remained in effect, and we asked Mr. Mike to bring us an approved plan. While we waited for the approved foundation plan, we kind of all came to consensus that maybe a real estate deal might be the way to go. We also discovered at that time that the engineering firm that signed off on the original plan did not use a licensed engineer to sign off. This makes that original permit, in my opinion, invalid. And if I say anything out of line, let me know. This is the way that I perceive everything. We did receive several quotes for different properties, which exceeded the value of the lot at 102 Stone Drive, and we ultimately denied those properties. The building department finally did receive a foundation plan, which they approved at the end of December 2015. At that point, the 102 Stone Drive agenda item has either been tabled or, again, no further information was passed on since we received it. Further properties then were brought to us to look at, and before we had time to consider them really fully, we were given a letter that a lawsuit was imminent. This is a big mess, guys, and either way, there's potential litigation no matter what we do. My recommendation, because that permit was given to us and we approved it based on false information, that we would pull that permit, allow him to resubmit it, and as he resubmits it, when we approve that permit, if it gets approved, it'll fall under the new architectural standards that this board has approved regarding all properties, because we cannot discriminate against modular homes. And I do believe that we need to do some research. Tom, this is for you. On our city's LDR, my understanding of the LDR, absolutely, you're right, Commissioner McCrone. Modular homes, mobile homes are not allowed in the city unless they're on Harbor Street, the way I read it.
Harbor Street area.
Harbor Street, right,
Well,
it gave you a block,
Yeah.
like a determination of where on Harbor Street. But Florida statute 55, or 553 regarding the building construction, I think we need to get our LDR in compliance with that. I've looked at Leon and Marion counties. I was reading an article from the Florida Bar Journal that says those are two counties that they kind of want us to model ourselves after. They don't have trailer parks or anything even listed in their LDRs. They just strictly, by using architectural standards, it kind of prohibits the areas that places can be. So today, what I would like to see happen is to release that stop work order, pull his permit, allow him to resubmit and go from there. That puts the ball back in his court. It's not going to, there may still possibly be litigation, there may be damages possibly, I don't know. But at this point, the most fiscally sound thing for us to do, since we've taken steps to prevent this in the future, would be to allow that process to move forward and let him comply with our procedures that we've set up. Our codes.
Pat, more than anything, that I'm going to get blamed that it's about me because I live in Ward Ridge, but it's not. You would not believe the people that's approached me about this situation. It would have been easier for me to let it go, but I'm not going to do it. I want to hear your recommendation, Pat, from a legal standpoint at this point.
Well, if you had some other, like they said, if you had some other choice, then it might be, I think it's a good look into it, but there's not really any other choice that you have on this. You've explored the Thompson, the Red League, diligently explored the resolution of the negotiation process, and I think that the area that actually David mentioned is one that we had actually researched. And here's the point: it's really a common sense point that misrepresentation of incorrect information in a building permit application, including improper or incomplete signatures or authorizations of plans and drawings, or a proper basis for any permit granted or approved by the city. And this is true where the building, this is even true where the building may already be partially owned and constructed. It does not stop the city from revoking the permit as being void from the beginning. So that's the crux of it, and what I'm going to do, and I don't need to really outline all of it, but I think what David's talking about is one thing, that a notice would be given to them. The second thing is that that declaratory agreement would be in order to have it confirmed that this is actually a invalid application, and that they have to go back in. Certainly, it would be working with Bo to get all those things straightened up and talk with him this morning. So I would say what's in order is to authorize, if you choose to take some basis of going forward other than letting him continue to have the buildings on that location, is to authorize me to proceed forward with the plans to challenge this.
My question was gonna be next is today I came in here, I beat myself up over this for 8 months now, not knowing what to do, but I'm not happy about the way this went down. I do not want to see anybody's property value decrease because of this. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna vote with a recommendation of Mr. Floyd. Mr. Floyd, what would your recommendation be today?
My recommendation is that you do apparently the only choice, and I think it's the one to proceed at this time, is to authorize me to go forward to take the actions that are necessary to defend against this, the location of these buildings on the property. And the
And that being part of trying to work on some of the issues that Commissioner Ashbrook brought up.
Exactly, and that's included in
Absolutely, sure.
spoken.
Okay, okay,
But
great.
Pat, you don't see any way around this, I mean, at this point.
No, not given the letter that they just sent, that,
Take the microphone, put it to his.
Tom Gibson mentioned, that, they're apparently queuing up for that, so, you know, and we talked with the people, Jim Ahon and those people, I even spoke with them, said, look, let's do something here. Let's try to see if we can get Mr. Gibson and resolve this. But, I think this is what the choice that you have here. You know, that choice is just to proceed to have a declaratory decree or go to the court and determine whether or not this application is proper. And that's the thing we're going to do.
Mr. Floyd, just so I'm clear, we're not planning on taking a suit against Mr. Mikes to force him to move off that property. All you're saying is we want to determine whether or not his application is invalid. And if it is, he would have the opportunity to reapply, but would also be under the new codes that we've written for architectural standards. Is that correct?
Well, what it would be that the application would be challenged as being invalid. And so he would have the opportunity to reapply if he wanted to, in order to do it. Because that's the only thing we would say is that it's invalid. We can't keep a person from reapplying. And if he reapplies, then, the position that I think would be logical and appropriate would be that whatever the current laws are at the time that he reapplies would be the ones that are regulated.
I can support that. Thank you.
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second, I think
Got
that's,
a motion by Commissioner Thursby, and second by Commissioner Crawford.
And the motion being is to move forward as deemed necessary as within the language that we just all spoke on. And that's my motion.
Second by Commissioner McCollum. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Tom,
All right.
Mayor, and I don't know how well Pat can hear me, but do we also need a motion to, invalidate the building permit based on the inaccurate information?
Pat, did you hear that?
Well, I think, I don't know if we need a motion to do that, but,
Okay.
I mean, it would be good to do it. I was gonna get, Mr. Green to come in and take the action to do that, but,
That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
there would be a letter go out there, so that's probably the motion that would be, Tom, just be, to go ahead and say what you were saying, Tom.
Well, what I was thinking is we have a stop work order in place, that was placed there by the board, so if the board says now, we're voiding this permit based on the inaccurate information that has been supplied, I mean, that, from my standpoint, it doesn't matter whether that comes from Bo through the building department or whether the city commission makes a motion. It's just whatever best supports, what Pat's gonna do next.
I'd like to see Mr. Creel take part in this, so why don't we let Mr. Creel take care of this part of it?
And I did.
Because what we're gonna have to do is actually, this part is that the applicant did not have, property drawings, plans, and construction, installation of the structure, delivered to the city at the time of the application for the building permit, therefore the permit is, and other reasons is not valid to be utilized by the applicant. Whatever we need to do to communicate that to him is what should be authorized, and I think what is authorized.
And I did speak to Mr. Krill today. He's in Eufaula, so couldn't be here. But he did say that it was an invalid signature, or the signature was not of a engineer. But I would definitely like to see that in writing from our building department before I would make a motion to that effect. But I will make that motion if that fact exists. Absolutely.
What else, gentlemen?
Got a motion on the floor, Mayor.
We voted on it. Which one we got now?
He just,
I did not make that
No,
a form of a
no,
motion, I'm just saying that I
he
would
said it
support
would.
that.
He saw that documentation.
I would, absolutely.
The only thing
This
I'd like
time-
to say, Mr. Mayor, if I could, one thing for everybody out in TV land, this is not something against the man that lives in a mobile home or a modular home. I have family that lives in mobile homes, not near as nice as the one that Mr. Mike has. It's about, to me, the idea of there's specific areas for this, and there's areas that we don't have this, and because we do not want property values to be decreased on the citizens of our community. That's all I want to say.
And I do, Mr. Mayor, just real quick, I do want to thank everyone on this commission, though. I came in here looking for a award, and it's been,
And we don't want a war, David.
No, I'm glad that we can all work
I hear
together.
that, I hear it every day.
Yeah.
But the people want a resolution.
Right.
You know,
It's been going on for too
I
long.
mean, they're tired of seeing it, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, but, I mean, I believe in Mr. Mike being protected, but I also believe in the people that's been here being protected.
Right.
It ain't just about one person.
I feel we've come to a
Yeah,
compromise,
right.
because honestly, when I first came in here, I wanted us to release that stop work order and allow him to build, but you know what? He did some application that was falsified. And now we have standards that would help with the architecture, so it does look like, we don't want the look of a trailer. And as far as property values, I mean, I've spoken to people, appraisers that have told me that the state won't allow them to treat it differently. However, we all know in real life that there's ways to decrease the value of a property as an appraiser too.
Is that?
So it's a tough one. This has been a tough decision for all of us, and I apologize that it's taken this long to come to this conclusion. But I think that we've made a great compromise here today. And other than the affordable housing stuff, I think this is one of my happier times up here. So
Good.
All
And I
right,
agree with that.
are there any citizens wish to be heard at this time?
Just got a couple questions.
Hold on a minute. Yeah.
I don't want to overlook the fact that it's been brought to your attention and certainly demanded by a number of people and residents in the area, including Port St. Joe, that there are subdivision restrictions on that particular subdivision where this is to be local as to be is located this time that require architectural approval from the Architectural Control Committee. And the certain improvements were actually viewed in 1956 as they were defined then as being specifically prohibited. So there are a number of citizens out there that have objections to this on other bases, of course, different than what the city has with respect to this no work order and the invalidation of the permit. But I think it deserves mention that there's some other people and other objections that are being raised, not by the city commission themselves, but by the residents.
Okay. All right. Yes,
Pat,
ma'am.
I thank you. I thank, Mr. Tom Gibson and staff has worked hard on this, and I'm just ready to get to a resolution, so let's get started.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Amy.
And like I say, y'all gathered some facts on it, but according to the newspaper, and I'm speaking as a taxpayer and a very deeply concerned citizen, in the newspaper, there is some mentioned some figures here, 100,000 plus. So I'm just saying that even right now, with the two attorneys and the paperwork and what's been filed, how much of the taxpayers' money is spent on this particular issue? How much we have spent?
Spend anything.
Well, it's been in there, yeah.
You gotta pay, attorney Bob, he's on a pro bono basis.
By the time we get paid, at this point right now, we've given $2,500, and I don't even know if that's been done yet. And then, I'm telling you, I have looked at what Mr. Tom Gibson charges us as a city. It's pathetic. I bet you he hadn't charged us much more than $500, $1,000, I don't know.
Oh,
So we're probably at $3,500 to $4,000 if I had to guess at this point.
That's your guess, so then I just,
And that is a guess.
conflicting.
Yes, ma'am.
Because first that we hadn't spent anything, and so you're talking about what
We approved $2,500 initially, and that's what we done. Yeah. But I don't even know that's even been, yeah.
But the one thing I
That's
can
what the
say,
city
Miss
for.
Amy, I'm gonna tell you something. If there was somebody in your neighborhood and there was something going on, I don't care where you live at, you as a citizen, before I hurt you and the money that you put into your home, I would spend that much money or more to try to make it right with you as a citizen and as a concerned citizen of our community. So it's not about where you live or how you live or who you are to me. It's about the idea that I don't want people hurt by working their butt off their whole life to get a little bit of equity in their house. And by one thing happening like this, that it may not. I heard the same thing Mr. Ashbrook did. Well, state law can't, but hey, we all know how that works. I wouldn't want that to happen to you, Miss Amy, and I don't want it to happen to anybody in our community. That's all I want
I
to say.
love Port St. Joe.
I know you
I
do.
pride myself on Port St. Joe. One day, hopefully, that we can all live together and be treated fairly and equally. And with this issue here, it's very obvious that we're not. And I'm like, when you want to say you don't have money, you can't meet some needs over here, but then you got all of a sudden money pops up somewhere to go and look into a matter such as this. And if it's needed, that's what you want to really do. But the point is that don't say you don't have no money, and all of a sudden you could find some money. And it's like, are we going on with the situation? It's like, how much of the taxpayers' money we've been spending on things, and is it really necessary? And it just makes.
And in that light, I'm gonna need to jump off and save the city some money.
Okay,
Please, sir.
all right.
Back up 10 minutes.
See you later.
Uh,
All right,
All
thanks.
right, thank you, Pat, thank you. But, that's what I was concerned about, what the, 2,000 here, but you gotta consider the fact of how much it's gonna cost. I haven't heard no one say how much it's gonna cost.
And we don't know that.
We don't know that.
See, all this.
We don't
we
know.
don't know.
We don't even know before you make a decision.
We haven't made a decision.
We're just trying to help out a lot of citizens in this town.
But you know what, Miss Amy? I know you feel that way, and there's other people that feel that way, but you said that you read some stuff in the paper, so you probably found out about this meeting today in the
Yeah, because
paper.
I asked in the last meeting what was the date and time, so we hadn't set the
And how
time.
many people in the community think that we're doing something to just waste taxpayer money? But not but 2, 3 people here. I think we're doing a heck of a job of doing the best we can to treat everybody fairly, regardless of race, religion, whatever. We are doing our best, and I can promise you that from the bottom of my heart when I go to bed every night. I don't feel like that I can't sleep because I hoodooed on Miss Amy or anybody else in our community. What you see with me is what you get. I'm telling you, I will help you or anybody in this community if I feel in my heart that they're right. And I feel like this community over here that has been done the way they've been done. In my heart, I feel that it's something I need to stand up for.
So I understand, the motion is to go to court, take the court.
That was the vote.
So that is another expense, right?
To challenge his application.
The challenge, go to court.
No. You'll probably, if I'm wrong, he's gonna send him a letter saying, your permit's been
It's
revoked.
invalid.
Yeah.
Permit is invalid.
So
Go,
we don't, it's about.
The ball's back in his court. He can
But
resubmit.
still, He has already he suffered punitive damages, and then we still have to.
Amy, the information on that application was not correct
Falsified.
from the beginning. He falsified information. Whoever the man, I don't know. I'm not blaming one individual, but
We're not, without-
HWC Engineering is who he needs to be asking for money, in my opinion. That's who signed off on this, who was not an engineer. That's who has done Mr. Mike wrong. We're trying to do what's best for 3,500 citizens, in this.
and Amy, for every person, we know how you feel. You told us from the beginning. I get a dozen calls every day, people feeling completely different than the way you feel. And their opinion matters too.
but
It ain't about one person, about the greater good.
But, I know he just, Commissioner Ashford had stated that, there's the other issues, other things that need to be looked into. And he was, naming out some of the things, and to me, it just added up to finance, and I just didn't see a full figure of the amount that it costs. That's like plus, or something plus, and I'm just seeing that the commission is willing to spend all this money on this issue right here.
According to his letter, he's asking for $143,000, and if it goes to court, that's what he's gonna try to fight for.
And so far, it's already have built up with his $143,000.
We've given 25 to legal so far, 2,500.
And another thing is that, there are modular homes on Avenue B throughout, and that, like I said, on other streets, you all looked at that too. On Long Avenue, corner, I think it's 2nd Street, and by the schools, and by the county has a big modular home right there as you go to the warehouse. All of this been looked at too? Okay.
That doesn't fall under that break, the
Okay.
counties don't, I mean, that's not.
That's my question.
All right, Mayor.
Okay.
Anyone else from the public? Anyone else? I need a motion to adjourn.
Second, third.
What do you set the air on 78? Huh? You set the air on 78? 76. What